So I decided I wanted to make this video because I was very, very disturbed. I'll use the word disturbed. When I came across the Facebook page, Historians on Donald Trump. What really disturbed me about this was the fact that this page was created by two exceptionally popular American historians, Ken Burns and David McCullough. You know, I'm a big fan of David McCullough and, to some extent, Ken Burns. I've always known Ken Burns' politics have been, extremely liberal. He's been upfront about that. He's donated thousands of dollars to the Democratic Party. But David McCullough actually, he seemed to be always fair. I guess that's the word that I would use. He's been fair. So it was a surprise to see that he would participate in something like this. Now, what it is it's pretty much just a smear campaign against Donald Trump. It's focused entirely on pointing out the flaws of Donald Trump and why he's not qualified to be president. And what's really bizarre about the whole thing is that you listen to the videos created by these historians, and everything they say in many ways can be applied directly to Hillary Clinton as well. Yet, the whole thing's focused on smearing Donald Trump. There's no mention of Hillary Clinton and all the trouble that she's got herself into and all the things which we've all seen have made her equally unqualified, if you want to say that, to be president of the United States. So I just wanted to make this video and point these things out. Maybe I'll play a clip here of Ken Burns. Let's listen to this clip by Ken Burns so you can get a feel of the smear campaign that's going on here.
For 216 years, our elections, though bitterly contested, have featured the philosophies and characters of candidates who were clearly qualified. That is not the case this year.
Okay, let me pause it right there. So is he talking about Hillary Clinton or is he talking about Donald Trump?
A person who easily lies, creating an environment where the truth doesn't seem to matter, who has never demonstrated any interest in anyone or anything but himself and his own enrichment.
Again, is he talking about Hillary Clinton or is he talking about Donald Trump? So as you can see here, I think these historians have every right as American citizens to say what they want as far as, if they don't agree with Donald Trump, if they want to go on public record and be critical of the things that he said or why they think he's unqualified to be president, that's fine. But when you paint yourself as a fair and balanced historian who tells both sides of the story, it just seems a little bit strange to me that they will not be critical of Donald Trump's opponent. Let me play this clip from David McCullough, and you'll get an idea of what I'm talking about. But let's listen to it.
President Dwight D. Eisenhower, who so admirably served his country his entire career, said there were 4 key qualities by which we should measure a leader: character, ability, responsibility, and experience. Donald Trump fails to qualify on all 4 counts. And it should be noted, Eisenhower put character first. In the words of the ancient Greeks, character is destiny.
Okay, so that's all fine and dandy. That's David McCullough's opinion. But if David McCullough wants to keep his credibility as a fair historian who tells both sides of the story, wouldn't it be wise for him to apply the same criticisms of Hillary Clinton that he's done to Donald Trump? Where's the Facebook page that says historians on Hillary Clinton, that talks about her email scandal, that talks about her scandals as Secretary of State, that talks about her record as Secretary of State, that talks about the lies that she's continually put forth before the American people? And so that's why I wanted to make this video. I just couldn't sit back and just not say something. And I think if you're watching this video, it'd probably be very wise of you to go look at each one of these historians. And really, all of them should be ashamed for participating in this project, the historians on Donald Trump, this smear campaign. They should all be ashamed of themselves. It's one thing if you want to just, if you're asked, what's your opinion on Donald Trump, to give it, and any fair journalist should ask them, what's your opinion on Hillary Clinton as well, and let them go on the record speaking about both candidates. But to put yourself in a project like this, that's just a one-sided smear, especially when you're calling yourself a historian who researches, who puts themselves out there, somebody who's fair, who will report on history and tell the reader or the viewer a balanced take on historical events. How are we supposed to take them serious? How are we supposed to trust them as historians when in real time, in our time, they've so intentionally participated in a one-sided smear campaign? And I think you should look at each one of these historians who've participated in this a little bit more carefully. And if you've read their books or you're going to be reading their future works, that you are a little bit skeptical going in, because if they're willing to put themselves on the line here in one-sided propaganda to influence the American elections in our time, who's to say that they're not giving us a one-sided view of history as well? So I would hope that David McCullough would come out and really give some strong opinions about Hillary Clinton as well. I know he can't be thrilled with her actions. McCullough speaks so much of the word honor and how that's lacking in the world today. And if anybody is lacking in honor, it's Hillary Clinton. And yet I don't hear him say that. And it's disappointing and it's disheartening for somebody that I really respect, and I respect his work. And I wish he would come out and say that and kind of redeem himself a little bit in my eyes. Just wanted to just talk about this. Like, I couldn't be silent on it. I mean, it's a disgrace. And I really feel that the American people need to wake up and just look at the media and the one-sided conversation that they're having with the American people, not being upfront and being honest about both candidates. It's troubling. So there you go. This took it to another level, seeing historians that really, in a lot of ways, have the trust of the American people, and to see them use that trust against us as Americans is really, really disturbing. If you're going to vote for Hillary Clinton, that's fine. If you're going to vote for Donald Trump, that's fine. If you're going to vote for a third-party candidate, that's fine. My point here is to point out that here we have modern-day historians that we trust to be fair who are participating in a one-sided conversation. And I just don't think that's good for our country. I don't think that's good for the elections. I'm just kind of calling it out like I see it. I think if you're going to use your academia and the trust that you have from the American people as a historian, I think you need to be fair. I think you need to talk about the problems and the challenges of both candidates.